Tip number 1, stay organized. Keep all the important documents and records in order so you can easily access them when you need them. I use folders or labels to categorize the information from the different businesses that I was handling. Color coding them was super helpful, that I even color coded the many files in my computers for easier access to them. Try it. Tip number 2, create standard processes. With so many people to deal with in different locations of the businesses, it's almost impossible to remember every instruction that I would give out from time to time. Now, add to it the complexity that it was not only me that they got instructions from, but from my husband as well. With this challenge, I learned to be patient as we develop step-by-step instructions for routine tasks in each type of our businesses. It was a tedious task to put everything into writing. But after we did, things became easier for us. All our instructions and the thinking behind them were documented so that it became easier for us to trace the right processes in performing each of the tasks. After the documentation was done, it was also easier to ensure consistency. The biggest blessing here was that it made it easier for me to train new employees by communicating the tasks to them as it was documented in their task lists. Tip number 3 is to use checklists. I love checklists. Do you love checklists as well? You see, I created checklists for daily, weekly, and monthly tasks. I created marketing activity checklists, store opening checklists, hiring checklists, etc. With a checklist, it's easier to communicate to my team and to make sure that things are getting done by the right people at the right time. So use checklists. They will help you stay on top of important activities and make sure nothing is overlooked. Promise. Tip number 4, set goals. Ever since I could remember, I've been teaching people how to set goals. But when I turned 60, I just stopped setting goals. I thought that it was time to just be spontaneous and to enjoy life because I'm already retired. So, years went by without much happening, and I became easily bored with my life as a retiree. I think that will be a common experience of most retirees, right? I wrote a book, if you've heard about it. And yes, my husband and I, we traveled to many countries before the pandemic hit. So we went to visit friends and we attended more trainings. And yes, I also did a few YouTube videos, but that was just it. It was not goal directed. It was just spontaneous. And then pandemic came. And even making goals and achieving them was no longer possible because everything there during that time was unpredictable. But as 2022 ended and things were starting to open up, I decided that it was time to set goals again. So I set annual goals for 2023. I set quarterly goals, monthly goals, and weekly goals, not knowing how I will be able to fulfill them, but I set them anyway. And guess what? As I wrote down the goals, miracles have been happening in my life. I attracted old friends who either helped me or introduced me to people who would. And this led to the most productive year ever for me since I retired at 60 years old. So, if I'm almost 70 now and I'm still setting goals, there should be no excuse for you not to set goals, okay? So, if you have different businesses, determine what you want to achieve for each of these businesses and set SMART goals. So, I'm sure that you know what SMART goals are because if you don't, you can always Google that. So, the goals have to be SMART, S-M-A-R-T, and these SMART goals will give you a clear direction and motivate you to work towards success. Finally, tip number 5 is to seek help. Don't hesitate to ask for help when you need it. This could be in your business as well as in your personal life as well. There is an abundance of people you can reach out to. There are professionals, coaches, mentors, or other business owners you could ask advice and guidance from. From their vast knowledge and experiences, they can provide valuable insights and support to help you navigate through managing and systematizing your businesses. So remember, take these tips one step at a time. There are too many of them to adopt right away, but adopt them to fit your specific needs and circumstances. With proper organization, processes, and support, you can effectively manage and monitor your growing business while systematizing your multiple types of other businesses.